Welcome, trust builders. I'm Sue Dyer, and this is Lead with Trust, where we explore how leaders can build their business on a foundation of trust and reap the rewards of becoming the top performer in their market. Leaders that understand how to use and leverage trust are uniquely positioned to disrupt their industry and dominate their market. Distrust of businesses and business leaders is at an all-time high. Trusted businesses must have trusted leaders, and your team, your customers, and your vendors are waiting for you to step up and elevate the level of trust in your business. My hope is that this podcast can help you start your trusted leader journey. Hey, everybody. It's Sue here again with Lead with Trust, and today's solo episode, we're going to talk more about trust, because I hear all the time with people saying, well, how do I really know what trust is? So let's talk a little bit about trust and the nature of trust and why it is so important, particularly if you are a fast growing company or team or organization. And if you are experiencing growing pains, trust is going to be your best friend. So let's start today by talking about the definition of trust. So according to dictionary.com, trust is the reliance on the integrity, strength, and ability of a person or thing. Confidence. That is what trust is by definition. And I think that trust is one of those things that we often don't really think about. We take it for granted until there is some maybe distrust or mistrust that begins to brew, or we don't wholly trust. And so there most definitely are levels of trust that we have, and each one of us holds those differently in different situations and with different people. So one of the things that I have learned over the past 35 years with working with fast growing, highly complex organizations and teams is that trust is the most important thing you can embed into the organization, because it's the essential component that holds the glue that kind of holds everything together. Without it, you're not going to have what you need in order to create this cohesion that is required for momentum. And years ago, I did a study of 134 different teams, and I was working with each one of them, and I asked each team this set of questions. Think about the very best work environment you've ever been in. And it was the most successful thing you've ever achieved was created in this environment. What was it about the environment that made it so successful? And then I asked them the converse question. Think about the worst environment you've ever been in, where it was a total flop. Whatever you created was just never was created, or it was a total failure. Both things happen. And what was it about that environment, about that working together in that team that created that failure? Interesting, 95% of everyone that answered this question on what made it successful said it was communication. And 98% of everyone who was asked what was it that made it a failure said that it was communication. So as I began to look at this and learn and work with teams over many, many more decades, I have realized that lack of trust shows up as poor communication. Now think about when they used to put the bird down in the way down underground, when people in the mines, so that you would know if there was some kind of bad air or there wasn't enough air or oxygen that would kill people. This is the same thing for your business, particularly if you have growing pains. You need to know that you have trust, and that it will show up as poor communication. And poor communication then leads to a lack of coordination, and then that leads to conflict. So if you have that scenario rolling out within your business or team, you have a trust issue. And so trust is one of those things that you can build. Yes, you can lose it, but you can build it. And what I have seen after working with, really, it's been 70,000 leaders, and 48,000 of them are executive leaders, is that the leader sets the tone. The leader sets the norms that allow for the culture to be created. And it's not that everyone doesn't co-create it with the leader, they do, but they follow the norms of the leader. And the culture of the organization actually exists in the policies, practices, which are the unwritten rules, and the processes, all of which are created by the leadership. I hope you're enjoying the show. Sorry to interrupt, but if you're looking to improve any area of your life, one of the first things you'll want to do is to figure out where you are today and where the gaps are, and then really get clear on where you want to go. Visionary leaders need clarity, like human beings need oxygen. It's essential. That's why my team and I put together a great starting point for you on your trusted leader journey. It's called the Trusted Leader Profile, and it will allow you to take charge of the atmosphere in your business by helping you understand your trusted leader style and how you can elevate the level of trust in your business. With understanding, you can make better choices and grow the level of trust and your results. For being a listener to the show, it's 100% complimentary for you to access the profile. All you have to do is go to www.sudyco.com/profile. And Sudyco is SUDYCO. Again, that's www.sudyco.com/profile. I really believe that the profile will help you understand the norms you bring to your business and unlock the next level of leadership for you. So I also have learned over the years that trust really has a hierarchy. I mean, it isn't like we're going to be wholly trusting, and there is a skill set to it. There's a skill that can be learned. And so the first level of the trust hierarchy is trusting in yourself. So if you don't trust yourself, then other people aren't going to trust you either. And my book this year is about trusted leadership, the trusted leader. And it's how to use the partnering approach to create a high trust environment. So it's all about self-trust. And it's tied and related to the next level of trust on the hierarchy, which is interpersonal. So two people, this interpersonal relationship. You might say trust really begins to happen there with two people, because it kind of exists between people. But I didn't want to forget that first, you better trust yourself. Are you doing what you said you were going to do? Are you doing following through with what you said you were going to do? Do you trust yourself to do what you say you're going to do, or what you know you're supposed to do, or what you should do? All those things. So interpersonal is in your business is where you begin to see the trust either grow or erode. And the book also addresses that. But next year, I'll write another book that will help with this when it's really about a little bit of interpersonal, but it kind of flows to the next level of the hierarchy, which is your team. Teams are built on a foundation of trust. And so I will share and have I have a blueprint called a trust blueprint, and it really lays out the partnering process. And so we have that process to help teams within an organization. It could be a division or a unit, so that or a whole organization, if it's small enough, build a trust blueprint. The next level is organizational. So you're trusting yourself. You've got skill sets there. You manage the interpersonal and the team level of trust. You've got some chops there. And now you're going to look at the entire organization, really creating trust across the entire organization. And now is where you can really begin to see where you want to make sure you're in alignment across all of the different things that are happening in your organization. Remember, culture exists within your policies, practices, and processes. And so we have a process, I call it building a trustocracy, but it's really like a steering committee that's working to embed trust policies, practices, and processes within your whole organization. And then the last rung on the trust hierarchy is interorganizational. So your organization doesn't work just in a vacuum. It works with other organizations and other teams. And it could be a customer, if it's a large customer for sure, or it could just be you have a joint venture, you have vendors, you have regulatory agencies, you have people who affect your ability to be successful. And so you need to build high trust relationships there as well. And we have a little model that's strategic trust, which is, we call it strategic partnering. And it develops co-creating the norms of how you're going to work together, understanding each other so that you can improve the level of trust. And you can even measure that as you work together and improve over the course of time. We have been using these tools, these models that I've developed for about 35 years. They have been tried and true and have been proven to be consistent. So I think you can have confidence in them, which would be, again, trust. You can trust them. There's actually 5 university studies that have proven the efficacy of the models. So I hope that this week you will think about your level of trust in yourself, interpersonally. Do you have anybody in your organization where maybe the trust isn't where you want it to be? Think about that. Those are 2 great places to start. And then after you manage to begin to hone that into some real trust muscles, then you can begin to work on creating a higher level of trust in your team, your organization, and those who impact your organization, your interorganizational relationships. I hope this is helpful for everyone, and I want everyone to have a great week as you are on your trusted leader journey. Thank you so much. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Lead with Trust, and that wherever you're listening to this podcast, you will subscribe. And if you enjoyed this episode, send it to someone who you think can really use this message that you got today. And also, please leave us a review. Your honest review wherever you listen to your podcasts would be much appreciated. And of course, the more reviews we get, the better they are, the better for the podcast. I'm truly on a mission to get more and more people to understand that trust is the essential element. So I hope you'll be part of that. This show really exists to help you, leaders, to build your business on a foundation of trust so that you can reap the rewards of becoming that top performer in your market. I see over and over where no one can possibly reach the levels of those people that understand how to build a high trust culture in their business. Now, today, if you're really curious about starting your trusted leader journey, you can get started right away if you just take the free Trusted Leader Profile, and you can learn where you fall along the Trusted Leader continuum. And this really can unlock your confidence on where you are and what you need to do. It's very specific on what you can do. Gives you a snapshot of your leadership style. So if you want to take that, just go to www.sudyco, SUDYCO.com, and then /profile, and you will get immediate access to the Trusted Leader Profile. Once again, that is www.sudyco, SUDYCO.com /profile. All right, that's a wrap. I just can't wait to hang out with you again on our next episode.